Hello everyone, I'm Susan Wallace from Settle Petals. I'm a potty training consultant, and throughout the month of June I'm answering some of your questions via video regarding potty training. It's Potty Training Awareness Month this month. One of the questions that's been sent in is if it's okay to use a pull-up at night time and at nap time when potty training. So the first thing is I split potty training up into three different groups. The first is potty learning, which is when we're helping a child understand what's expected of potty training and helping them understand the process, but not actually expecting them to use a potty or toilet just yet. The second is daytime training, and that's when we make the transition from a child using a nappy to a child using a potty or a toilet. And the third step is night training, and that's when we're supporting a child at night time with the potty training process. And at each of these sections, I would kind of have a different response to that question. So in potty learning, we're not actually expecting a child to use the potty yet. A pull-up can be helpful because you can have in that kind of time when you know that the nappies are coming to an end, but you're not quite ready maybe to try potty training yet. The pull-up can be useful because when it's time to change the child's nappy, you can actually do it much easier when they're standing up, and you can also help them prepare for potty training by teaching them how to pull down maybe their trousers and also to pull down the pull-up as well. So that can be quite helpful. When you start daytime training, sometimes having the pull-up can be very confusing for a child during the day when they're not sleeping, and because they're not quite sure whether they're meant to go in the nappy, which is so absorbent, the pull-up nappy, which is so absorbent, it doesn't give them much motivation to use the toilet or the potty. But when it comes to nighttime or nap time, what do you do? So some children will already be dry through their nap if they're still having a nap when they potty training before they even begin, and that child might not need any sort of nappy, might be better just going for a really good waterproof sheet. Some children may still be wetting at this stage, and others may not. So if you want to use a nappy and it's not hindering your process at nap time, then by all means. But what can sometimes happen, particularly children who maybe weren't quite ready for potty training, and they know that this nappy comes at nap time, and so they begin holding it rather than using a potty or toilet at all. They actually start to hold, knowing that it'll be much easier to wait till the nappy is reintroduced, and it can slow your process. Now that doesn't happen for all children. So what I would do about nap time is, if your child has been dry before you started potty training, maybe just go straight to the waterproof sheet. If your child is still wetting and you want to put a nappy on and it works and they're continuing to wee throughout the day in the potty and toilet and it's not hindering the process, then no reason to do something else. If you find that actually using it is the only time they're going, then you might want to review that and maybe at nap time just use that waterproof sheet just to prevent them getting into this cycle where they hold. With nighttime, absolutely, a pull-up can be helpful. Nighttime and daytime training often don't happen at the same time. Sometimes they do, but night training, for it to be successful, we need the bladder to be a certain size to hold the urine throughout the night. And we also need a hormone to be produced in significant enough quantities that it actually reduces urine production through the night. So it's a real physical development sign. And really, we can't do a lot behaviourally. We don't need to do a lot to speed that up for the majority of children. Some might need a bit of help in the later years, but for the majority, what we just do is put a nappy on, and when it's dry for, like, say, a week, and then you might consider just moving to the waterproof sheet. A pull-up might be a good option here because some children will wake up in the night or early morning and say, oh, I need to go. And the pull-up means we can kind of help with a wee bit of that independence that they'll be doing when they're in pants or what they're already doing in the day, and that a normal nappy couldn't do. So the answer kind of depends on where in your potty training process you are and how your individual child responds, but I hope that's helpful.